So here we are in Kibira Forest. Along this little road, it's almost impossible to get into the jungle. It's so much vegetation. But here is a little opening, so let's go down here. It's down here. I hope we can see the swamp, which is another part of the extreme biodiversity. You can find almost anything here, so it's important to be careful where to step. So there is no snakes, but out here is a swamp, which is quite big. Let's go down and check so there is no anacondas or any other poisonous thing. Let's see here. Yes, here it's cold. So all of this open space here is a swamp. And out in the middle, let's see, now that we cannot see, but there is water also, open water out here. And I tell you, don't swim there. Don't swim there. If you're gonna go there, bring a scientist. Now we are on our way to the hot springs. We have the car over here. It's a very bad road, but we will make it. But what's interesting here is that the trees are full of moss. There is moss everywhere. You see here? Every little stick has moss, which is a sign of a very good climate and a lot of oxygen. And it's covering the whole sky. The trees are covering everything. And far in the distance there is the lake and the swamp. All right, so let's find a way down here too. Here, down here there is some open water in the swamp that I want to see. So let's go down here. This area is really no people living here now, except some indigenous people that still live in the jungle, but hard to find. What's interesting though is that most of the government ministers were part of the rebel movement before, and so they all stayed here before they became ministers. So they are kind of different from at least European politicians. I don't say it's always good, but it's interesting. So here is the swamp again. It's a quite big open space, and far over here is some open water. There's a lot of birds. Let's see, there is some flying over here. It's hard to see them though. But there are a lot of birds here. This whole area is a fantastic place for people. Could be like ecotourism here, because if you're really interested in nature and biodiversity, this is the place to go, really. And this is just the open spaces inside the jungle. Oh, there are so many different tree species here that we have to explore, because most of the Most of the species that are grown here today are like domesticated species like eucalyptus, but the hardwood in this forest are so many different kinds, so it should really be explored. So when we do the replanting in the future, the reforestation, it should be integrated with some of these tree species from Kibira Forest that are indigenous. Okay, so now we are at the hot spring here in Kibira Forest. They have managed to make it really nice here since I was here before. So now it's like a spa with different compartments. With the hot water comes up from the geothermic ground, and you can choose different swimming pools for different reasons. And people come here from all over their area, or even from Rwanda and Congo, to swim in this water because it's known to be healthy. So if you have arthritis or some problems with your body, you go here and you stay for a couple of days, soak in the water, and over here you can go into the real Kibira Forest. From here it is all the way up to Rwanda and Congo. It's open. And you can walk, if you have the guts, you can walk all the way to Congo from here in the forest, in the natural forest. But there are still some rebels in there, so you have to be careful. Here in Burundi it's not so dangerous because, as I told before, the government here all come from rebel backgrounds, so they know the forest, and that's why there are hardly no rebels left here in Burundi. All right, but this is the spa, and up here they're going to make a tourist village for ecotourists.